My mom and dad died and left me alone. But I figured it out. How to live. I don't need anyone. Billy, I chose you to be my replacement because you are responsible and self-reliant. But everyone needs someone. Today, on the Comic Book Report, we'll be reviewing Shazam, the Monster Society of Evil. Stick around and check it out. Greetings everyone, my name is Dominic and you are tuning in for the Comic Book Report, where we review comic books and graphic novels so you can get an idea of what to read. Today we'll be taking a look at Jeff Smith's Shazam, the Monster Society of Evil. But first, here are a couple quick facts about today's collection. Shazam and the Monster Society of Evil was written and penciled by Jeff Smith. The comics were first published by DC Comics in 2007. This hardcover volume collects Shazam, the Monster Society of Evil, issues 1 through 4, and comes in at 240 pages. And at this time, I'd like to issue a general spoiler warning. I will be flipping through this collection in its entirety and commenting on some of the plot points. You've been warned. Alright, and here is the collection itself. Again, Jeff Smith's Shazam, the Monster Society of Evil. And wow, just looking at this hardcover edition, I just love this art. It's so bright and fun and vibrant. You can probably see why. This was my first choice after my Comics by Night event. After a month of dark, horror-themed comics, this was such a great palate cleanser. And for those that missed my series, I'll make a playlist on my channel for all of the Comics by Night content. Moving back to today's collection, of course, you can see some of the colorful cast of characters here. This book is really something else. Case in point right here, I'm going to go ahead and zoom back and show you what happens when we remove the dust jacket. In addition to some incredible artwork and of course the description and some accolades on the back, this dust jacket is actually a giant full-size poster. Can you believe it? I've never had a collection like this, and it so fits the tone, the levity, and the fun of this comic collection. What a fun little find here. Let's go ahead and tuck this hardcover back in, and then we can go ahead and get started to see what is inside. Alright, as we go inside the collection itself, we have a lot of the front matter that you would find on a lot of books, of course. One thing that's kind of cool, there's actually an introduction by the artist Alex Ross, which is definitely worth a read. And then we go into the collection proper itself. And right off the bat, I just want to share how I found this collection. Shazam and the Monster Society of Evil has been in my collection for some time now. If memory serves, I believe I picked this up back in the day when I was getting into Captain Marvel, or now he's called Shazam in the DC Universe. This comic is old enough, though, that the character is still called Captain Marvel, who uses the word Shazam just to transform into Captain Marvel and then back into Billy Batson. Anyway, I picked up his first appearance in the New 52, which I really loved as well. I highly recommend Shazam's New 52 set. I believe it's just a single volume, but it's really great, and I think a lot of the movie is based on that run. But around that same time, I was hoping to find another collection of Captain Marvel or Shazam to give myself a bit of a perspective on the character. He was one I'd see in team-ups or animated series, and I just wanted to know a little bit about him. He's such an old character, and I had a hard time finding like classic Golden or Silver Age issues, but I wanted to get something that was still kind of modern but a little different. And of course, in comes Jeff Smith. I see him first in like an Amazon listing, and I was like, Jeff Smith, where have I heard this name before? Of course, many of you might be shouting out, Bone, he wrote Bone. Yes, Jeff Smith is the creator behind Bone. If you haven't read that series, it's kind of Lord of the Rings meets a little cartoon. It has so much fun and adventure. I'm about halfway through that whole saga right now, but that's another one worth recommending. And honestly, that's it, guys. I ordered it online. It came in. I was wowed by the kind of cartoon fun, just lightness of tone in this collection. When I saw that the dust jacket itself was a poster, it just blew me away and just fit this so perfectly. And it just set the tone for me for this whole work. Now, as far as what you can expect from Shazam, the Monster Society of Evil, or what is it about, honestly, guys, at the bare minimum, this is a retelling of an origin story or an updated origin story, what have you. We see Billy Batson, kind of a homeless orphan at the beginning, who stumbles onto the Rock of Eternity, finds the wizard, and becomes the hero Shazam. This hero has kind of magical powers. He's super strong, has some of the powers of Superman, of course, like flight and strength and a level of invulnerability, of course. His powers being triggered by saying the word Shazam, which causes a lightning bolt to hit him and activates the power change. So in this collection, we get to see the origin as well as how Billy inadvertently releases kind of an evil into the world through the characters of Mr. Mind and a sequence of anthropomorphized animals like alligators or little monster creatures. And then there's the villainous Dr. Sivana throughout this. And of course we get supporting characters like the wizard and Talky Tawny, the tiger, and of course Mary, his sister. And generally we have a high-flying adventure, good versus evil. We have a lot of great character growth from Billy Batson, who kind of finds a family and a belonging and kind of a calling. And just, it's a lot of fun to be had. Classic good versus evil. There's a childishness, but kind of an for all ages quality of this collection that I also find in Bone. I think Jeff Smith just excels at this simple but also profoundly for anyone to read kind of comic book. And there's just so much to enjoy. I love the kind of cartoony art style that Jeff Smith has. It fits this character and this collection beautifully. They're so expressive, and the clean lines, vibrant colors just pop. It has a vintage, classic comic feel, but it's modernized. But again, in that way that feels just timeless. One note I want to make as well as we even approach the end of this collection, this incarnation of Captain Marvel or Shazam does something that I don't see in the New 52, the movie adaptation, or some of the more recent incarnations of the character, which is when he says Shazam and becomes Captain Marvel is a different character than Billy Batson. It's not that Billy Batson has all these muscles and he's an adult and now he's this character. There's a whole separate entity that works together with him. I found this really interesting as it was just a whole different lens by which to view this character, because you also got to see the tension and the dynamics between Captain Marvel and Billy Batson. They were not one and the same. And that about brings us to the end of today's collection. At the end here, you can see there's a great sketchbook and some other bonus features, a great little section back here. I should also note this collection has high quality gloss paper in a beautifully bound hardcover edition. And I don't know about you, but I think it's time we give Shazam, the Monster Society of Evil, a grade. For a fun and fast, for all ages, superhero origin story with a lot of heart, look no further than Jeff Smith's Shazam, the Monster Society of Evil. For its engaging characters, beautiful hardcover edition, and general fun, even if it doesn't have the most nuanced, sophisticated, or layered storytelling. The Comic Book Report gives Shazam, the Monster Society of Evil by Jeff Smith a B-. I'd say that this collection is really for Captain Marvel or Shazam fans, or Jeff Smith fans. I feel those demographics will be most satisfied with this collection. But that being said, as an even casual fan like myself, I highly enjoyed this book, and I'm so happy it's in my collection. But I wouldn't consider it a must-read status for casual comic fans or DC fans in general. But if you love the creator, love the art style, love the character, or enjoy this kind of lighthearted feel, I do recommend Shazam, the Monster Society of Evil. And that's going to do it today for the Comic Book Report. Thank you for stopping by. Please consider subscribing or checking out some of our other videos. Have a good one.